Good morning, everyone. This is Steve Stern. I'm a former Lutheran parish pastor and a now current hospital chaplain at Froedtert Hospital in Wauwatosa. I worked on the staff of institutional ministries for 20 years, and I was at Salem many times when you were having the Grace Oasis. So I'm happy to be with all of you today. Today in our scriptures, we find people in times of great stress. In the Old Testament lesson in Ezekiel chapter 2, verses 1 to 5, Ezekiel is told that he is to go and be a prophet to his people. But because they are a hard-headed people, they will not listen to him. But God said, I want you to go anyway, in spite of that, and do your best and be my prophet. In the gospel lesson in Mark chapter 6, verses 1 to 6, Jesus goes to his hometown, and he's amazed that because the people think that he's just an ordinary guy, he's the son of Mary and Joseph, and they know his brothers and sisters, they're just not impressed by him. And so they just ignore him, and he was not able to do anything of any importance there. And then in the epistle lesson, the Apostle Paul talks about the personal difficulty that he had with his thorn in the flesh. And that's what I want to talk with you about today. So as we look at 2 Corinthians chapter 12, we hear Paul say these words, "To keep me from becoming conceited because of these surpassingly great revelations, there was given me a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, my grace is enough for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties, for when I am weak, then I am strong." As we think about these words of Paul, I'd like you to think about having a sliver in your finger. I bet that many of you who are listening in today have had that experience of having a sliver. You may have come in contact with a rough piece of wood, and all of a sudden you felt this pain, and you looked down, and there was a sliver. You remember what you did at that moment? Did you say, oh, well, I guess I got a sliver, and go on with what you were doing? Maybe some of you macho men would have done that, but most of us would have done something else. We would grimace and call out in pain. We would be angry at ourselves for not being more careful. We'd be angry at that stupid piece of wood that was causing us the pain. And we most definitely want to remove that sliver as soon as possible, because there's no way we can go on working and using our hand with that sliver in our finger. We have to get that out of there. It just has to come out. This memory you have of a sliver in your finger gives us somewhat of an idea of what the Apostle Paul is talking about in our reading in the epistle. He called it his thorn in the flesh. We don't know exactly what he was talking about, but we have to think it was something physical. It might have been recurring bouts of malaria that stopped him in his tracks for days and weeks at a time. It might have been something with his eyes related to the time of his conversion when he was struck blind. Whatever it was getting in Paul's way. You think about all the territory Paul covered in his missionary journeys, and you know this man was a house on fire. It's unbelievable how many miles he traveled and people he talked to and congregations he established. He had to have incredible stamina and inner drive to keep going like he did. So whatever his thorn in the flesh was, Paul could not accept it. Surely, Paul thought, his God did not want him to stop what he was doing. Surely God wanted him to reach as many people as possible in as many places as possible. There was no doubt in Paul's mind God wanted to take Paul's thorn in the flesh away so he could keep going on with his work. But just in case God didn't see things Paul's way, he asked God to take it away. He implored God to take it away. He begged God on his knees to take it away. And then he did it a second time. And then he did it a third time. And then God told Paul, I'm not taking your thorn in the flesh away. I want you to keep it. I want you to embrace it. Remembering how painful a little sliver in your finger can be, we can only imagine the shock and the disbelief that Paul was feeling when his prayer was answered with a no. These words of Paul are very profound in my mind. They make us do some serious reflection on what it means to live the Christian life. Let's do some reflecting on the idea that there is another way to deal with a thorn in the flesh. Let's begin our reflection on the meaning of pain and suffering. See what God's trying to see in the minutes. The ministry to serve he had never seen before. Paul the bus. Always been the strong one. To see any in a car that feel guilty.